My name is Stacey Belmore. I'm 39 years old, a member and coach at CrossFit Nashua, and I lost 130 pounds. So my journey is like most people that are overweight. For many years I tried to lose weight with diet and exercise, and it just never stuck, primarily because I didn't stick with the diet, not because it didn't work. But I wasn't always overweight. So my story starts when I was younger. I had ADHD, and I was a pretty active kid. My mother and father put me in a lot of sports, so I didn't necessarily gain any weight when I was younger, but our eating habits weren't the greatest. I can remember going to soccer practice and picking up McDonald's or Burger King on the way there, or eating pasta at home. But I was so active I didn't really put on any weight. But everything changed when I went to college, and I wasn't playing sports. I went to a school where I didn't know anybody, and how do you meet people in college? You go to parties, you go out to dinner, you go to events where there's food, and I started to really gain weight then. I had a really negative relationship with food starting around that time because I ate when I was happy, I ate when I was sad, when I was struggling in school, I ate, when I was having fun, I ate, and then it adds up pretty quickly. So I was making a lot of friends, but I was also gaining a lot of weight. And that's where I think the problem began, because I put so much of myself into eating and kind of unhealthy habits that I wasn't really thinking about how it was impacting me. I almost became a character at that point too, because I was gaining weight and I didn't think people were attracted to me. So I was the loud, funny, outgoing girl at all the parties that people wanted to be around. So I drank more and I ate more and I did more things that put me in social atmospheres, and I kind of lost myself about that time. College was a really good time, but then it ends and I have to get out into the real world. I had to get out into the real world, which then again was a very negative experience because I just didn't know what to do with my life and where to go, and my relationship with food didn't get any better. Even though I exercised and tried to stay in shape, I just couldn't lose the weight because I couldn't change my relationship with food. After college, I played semi-pro football for a little while and absolutely loved it, and it became an excuse for me to be big. I needed to be big. I needed to tackle, I needed to block, I needed to do things on the football field that required me to be overweight, and it did become very much an excuse. But after football, things started to catch up with me. So my weight put issues on my knees, and I have arthritis in my knees. My back became a problem, and my body was just physically breaking down. About this time, my dad also was starting to fall pretty sick himself from bad choices he made. Smoking, soda, bad food, things like that. He had diabetes, heart issues, a number of ailments that just were catching up with him. And I was really faced with my future. I was really seeing that this is where I was going to go if I didn't make a change. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what the next step was for me, and a very good friend of mine who is still a member here at CrossFit Nashua invited me to come to CrossFit Nashua and just give it a shot. And I thought, well, nothing else has worked, so we might as well try this. And I walked into the gym for the first day, and this very fit, attractive woman ran up to me and introduced herself as Sarah. She was very excited and welcomed me to come and try CrossFit. And what I thought was really interesting was, if this person could look past what I couldn't look past my weight, look past who I was, all my bad habits, and invite me to try it, I figured I might as well just give it a shot. So Monday rolled around and I said, well, I'm gonna start my journey. And I got on the scale that morning, and that scale read 303 pounds. I don't think that was my heaviest, but it sure was a slap in the face. I came to CrossFit that day, and I can tell you now that I was physically ill. Primarily probably because I was so nervous to try it, but I was also really out of shape, and I was really upset with myself that day because I'd been an athlete my whole life and I couldn't even run 400 meters. But I figured this is the step that I'm gonna take. So for the first few months, I was consistent 3 days a week, really enjoyed it and liked being here, and I saw some pretty good changes. I had a doctor's appointment about 3 months into CrossFit, and inevitably the discussion about my weight came up, as it always did. And this time the doctor suggested gastric bypass surgery. And I really thought nothing about it because she's a doctor. So I got in the car, I called my wife, and she was not happy. And she said, please talk to Eric when you get to CrossFit. So I did. I came in and I said, oh, hey Eric, I'm gonna be taking some time off. I'm gonna have gastric bypass surgery, but I'll be back. And I went on the workout, I did the workout for the day, and at the end of the class, he stopped me. And he said, give me 3 months, follow the plan I give you, and if you see progress, stick with it. If you don't, have your surgery. He didn't put any expectation on it. It was just give it a shot. And I thought, well, I've tried everything else. Might as well, what do I have to lose in this? So he gave me a very simple plan. I did the CrossFit classes a couple more days a week. He added a little bit more cardio, maybe 15 minutes 3 times a week. And I kept my calories under 2,000 with a simple macro balance. And I saw significant progress in that 3 months. And I couldn't just not keep doing it. And what I remember most about that is that Eric believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself. And I had to give it to him to keep trying what he was doing for me. And I think most people think that you need to make significant changes to lose weight. I can tell you that I didn't make major changes. I worked out an hour a day. I didn't work out crazy amounts of time. I stayed under 2,000 calories. I had a cheat meal once a week, and I enjoyed the foods that I still liked. So I kept it simple. The weight started to come off, and I actually changed my relationship with food. That was the biggest thing. I started to look at food as fuel for my body rather than my coping skills. And that's when I started to really see the impact that food had. I think the best things about all this is that I've made changes both personally, not just physically. In 2012, I started the journey, and since then I have really embraced everything that's come with it. Eric asked me to be a coach a couple years ago, and that was really exciting because that was an accomplishment I didn't think I would ever get to. I ran my first half marathon last year, and I'm just really embracing where my future is going to go with this. One of the special things about CrossFit, though, is the community. It's the reward that you don't expect. I think when you walk in, you think of this as a gym, but then when you really get in here, there's way more to it, and it's different people from different walks of life that are coming here to work out and enjoy themselves. This place has become my family, and part of my journey is that in 2016, my father passed away from a heart attack. His unhealthy habits finally caught up to him. And in the past, that would have triggered me to spiral into overeating, overdrinking, and just becoming a waste of space. But the community surrounded me, and they believed in me, and I didn't fall into those bad habits. And that was a real accomplishment for me. That was the accomplishment to get through the toughest thing in my life, my world being turned upside down, and not drowning myself in food. And so that is the reward that I've also gotten from all of this, is to really learn how I can get through this without overeating. The community has been such an amazing part of my life, and I'm so thankful for them and for what Eric and Sarah have created here. And I really would not be where I am today without CrossFit Nashua.